Silent PS.
I feel like we should have the Fellowship soundtrack playing, or
Copyright violations everywhere.
yeah.
Hey, it says Justin is live now. All right. We're live in the group.
Yeah, I like that you have fire in your bag end.
All right, I am live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our special review show of the second round of Middle-earth March Madness. As you can see, I'm joined by a company of dwarves, and we're keeping warm by the fire here. I've tried to tell them about social distancing, but, you know, dwarves.
Yep.
You can't do it, like, they're hard-headed. So we are going to have a wonderful show where we review all of the current brackets in round 2 of Middle-earth March Madness. You can go to theonering.net, and the top post is a link to the voting for the second round of Middle-earth March Madness. This round, voting goes until Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and then we will do another special results show just like it. I am joined tonight by Chelsea and Kalasuri.
Greetings, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
So we've got, you might see 4 boxes on screen. Is because we are doing a special.
Actually, I don't think you have it set up that way, Justin. I think it's
Okay.
only you at the moment.
All right. Well, we have put together a wonderful series of brackets that we can review together and give the our pluses and minuses, and basically pitch our favorite series, pitch our favorite choices in each of the competition. I'm watching you in the chat room. I see Dave Gentry. What's up? I see
Sarah's
Vicky
here.
Francisco, thank you. We are live on YouTube, Facebook groups, Twitch, and Periscope. So I'm just going to hand it over to the MC of all of the matchups, our own Gandalf.
Aha. I am the... You shall not pass. All right. Well, we're going to go right into it. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And we will get to.
I love my dwarves. I love the Hobbit.
And we are seeing 3 boxes on the live. It wasn't just Justin.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. Good.
But I'm waiting to see if your screen gets shared because I don't see the 4th box.
I don't either.
Oh, yep, we're good.
We're good?
Yep, we're good.
All right. So you all should be seeing my screen by now, I hope.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, yeah, we said, what the heck? We're all confined to our homes. Why not take a little bit of a dive into Middle-earth March Madness this year and look at the round 2 brackets midway through, or a little earlier than midway.
Build the excitement and the momentum. Why not?
Yeah. And so here we go. This is the latest numbers in as of about an hour ago. So let's first show you where you can vote. If you don't know theonering.net, literally theonering.net, and you can click from there. Here's a BitLie, which 2020 MEMM is Middle-earth March Madness. Round 2 is a 2. So if you remember that, 2020 Middle-earth March Madness 2, that's how you can get there as well. Here's our bracket. You see we have our tearjerkers, our scenic, our laughter, and our drum and action divisions. And we are going to dig in right with tearjerkers.
All right, let's do it.
So our first matchup, and revealing the current status.
As of like an hour ago.
As of an hour ago.
That means my vote was not included in this.
Oh, I went back. Wait, don't go too far.
Don't go too far. You're spoiling it.
I know. Hold on. My finger I did the whole too fast. Let's see. Did it load? There we go. Okay. This should be good. So currently we have the 16 seed, You Bow to No One, versus the 8th seed, Éomer finds Éowyn on the Pelennor Fields. As you can see, currently the 8th seed, Aomar finding Eowyn on the Pelennor Fields is crushing.
Where are
I
all
don't
of
know.
my you bow to no one people that like helped this one get through? Where are you now? Where are you voting? Come on,
The
people.
hardest of hardy men will always vote for you bow to no one. That, I mean, it's just, that makes men cry.
Mhm.
It is,
So-
it is so good.
So this is the stat. Just a reminder, this is not final. This is
Right.
right in the middle of the voting here. This can
We
change.
still have 2 days. That's why I'm
Yep.
saying,
Yeah.
where
This
are
is-
my people? Where are my people? Come on.
All right,
This
let's
is
go to
just the start of voting. So we just opened we just opened round 2 this morning, and these are the matchups, and these are the current standings, but we just opened it this morning. So you have 2 more days until Sunday night.
Chris, about how many people have voted so far?
Oh, we're at about 2,000 in just a
Right,
day.
right.
Yeah,
Off
that's
to a
pretty
strong
cool.
start.
Yeah, it is a
Sit-
strong start considering the last round with the 3.5 days. It was 5,500. So we're
Already
moving right
halfway.
along.
All right.
So the
Sarah
next,
Draper says, I voted for it, but I don't know what it is. Which one
I
did
think-
you vote
I
for,
think
Sarah?
she did for bow to no one because I said, where are my bow to no one people? So I think
Yeah.
that's what she was
Okay.
going for.
all right. So let's move on to the next one where we see. Oh, you know what? It's number 12th seed, Sam with the Some Good in This World versus
Oh.
Theoden's Death. You want any
Some good in this
predictions?
world. Come on, some good in this world.
Is there some good in this world? Any predictions before we reveal here what
It-
the
it
current
has to
status
be
is?
worth fighting for, right? That's why we're
Well,
all
there's no status. Like, we just want to see what the matchup is. Let's keep going. Let's see the blank screen, and we're bringing in Theoden's Death versus Sam's Speech. There's some
Yes!
good in this world
huge.
from the
Yeah.
2 Towers. I don't have to remind you, 2 Towers is my favorite of the trilogy, and I am totally going for Sam's Speech.
Yes.
Yep. Looks like it's a solid lead right now. Have to take a lot to for Theoden to come back from the dead. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Anyway, next we have Sam farewelling Frodo when Frodo appears to be dead from Shelob, and we have Gandalf's fall in Moria.
Is the screen coming up?
Yep. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't have
We
those
still have
things
the
there.
gifts coming in from the last one.
Yeah. There we go.
Jeffrey and Megan Brown say, I don't know who wasn't moved by You Bow to No One. My point exactly. Thank you.
That's why I'm shocked it's not in the lead right now.
You got some gifts coming in. It's still loading up right now.
Yep.
We've got our third match in the tearjerker category is Sam's farewell to Frodo after he takes Shelob's sting, and then the Fellowship reacts to Gandalf falling in Moria. Probably one of my favorite musical motifs in the whole trilogy.
I am honestly shocked that Gandalf's fall doesn't have a higher percentage right now.
That's true, right?
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the most memorable moments of all the films. So
Let me ask
Yep.
you this. Did you guys expect that scene to hit so hard?
oh yeah,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
did. Well, you remember, Justin, you didn't read the books. So you didn't have, right? You didn't have the knowledge of the books. And so I knew this scene was going to be a tough one for sure.
Did it? Yeah. So I didn't read the books beforehand. So did it deliver on everything you
Oh yeah, yeah. This-
always hoped for?
Stephanie says that the soundtrack after Gandalf's fall can make
Oh,
her fly
right.
on its own.
Yes. Yep, definitely. All right, moving on. Still in the tearjerker division. Bilbo farewells to the dwarves from
Okay,
um,
wore a special shirt just for this one, guys. So
Boromir's death.
don't kill Sean Bean. All right. Hashtag don't kill Sean Bean.
So if you don't kill Sean Bean, does that mean you're voting for the other one?
No, I voted for Boromir's death because they killed Sean Bean, and I'm protesting. But I said we needed T-shirts for all the categories we were like cheering on, so I'm cheering on Boromir's death with my Sean Bean support.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy again, this is one of those ones I'm very surprised is not a bigger margin of victory or current status, not victory. It's not done yet. But I think, this might be one of the last scenes from The Hobbit in this entire tournament. So Battle of Five Armies might be going out. All right, the next division we have, by the way, oh yeah, I have a lovely animation here of that will just loop for us of Boromir. That scene got me.
Yeah. So
right.
let's load up the next page, and then we'll reveal what the next matchup is in the laughter division. Scenes that made you laugh uncontrollably in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. And I think The Hobbit got shut out completely in the first round, even though it should have been a funnier movie.
Yep.
And here we go. Our second seed here, or our second matchup. First matchup in the second category. Merry and Pippin welcome Aragorn and Gandalf to Isengard in Return of the King.
Okay, so can we just take a moment to say that this is the hardest category I've ever had to vote for in my entire existence of voting for anything in life. I literally I sat here like I missed this reveal yesterday, so I just started the survey and I didn't really look at the brackets, and it got to this screen and I went, ooh, oh, for like 5 minutes out loud.
It's a tough one.
Like, how do you choose between these iconic moments? I voted for what I knew would be the underdog, which was Isengard, and it clearly is the underdog right now. But my God, that's rough.
There's always hope. But I think I voted for Second Breakfast simply because it's so hobbity as well.
I mean, if you guys were here on Tuesday, I was all team Second Breakfast all the way through to take it to like the final victory. I was like, but it's hard to choose between your two children.
Yep. All right, here's another one coming up. The next matchup.
We got Gandalf to Pippin and Moria, full of took, versus Gimli to Aragorn. You're gonna have to toss me.
I don't think this was a close-up. Wait, whoa, hold on a second. Toss me's winning.
Yeah, it is. But I expected Toss Me to win.
Yeah, I guess so. Again, Full of a Took is well classic. Not, I don't think, a hilarious moment. Definitely Toss Me takes the lead here. So currently a significant lead for Toss Me in this matchup. Here comes the next one. This one's one of our closest matchups, if not the closest matchup.
This was a hard one. This was a eeny, meeny, miny, mo moment. I was like, they're both equally classic.
Would you like me to find you a box versus that still only counts as one?
My issue with these is that they're both part of the overall banter between two classic film, great representations of the characters, and it's additional content from really Peter Jackson, but it's very, very interesting, very, very good. And I don't know what's going to come out. I mean, we got 2 days here left in the voting, and for all we know, it could swing back and forth between these two. I think ultimately I chose that still only counts as one because I guess I'm in an unpopular opinion based on some of the comments on the group today. But I love that sequence. Still gives me shivers as I watch it when Legolas takes down the Oliphant. It's just,
I agree.
It was, and it's so amazing. I watched it today as I was posting it on the One Ring, and I could not believe how well the CG holds up. Like the entirety of it all. Like it just blew my mind. I mean, we're talking a movie that is now nearly 15 years old, 16 years old.
And the thing I like about that scene is that you never lose appreciation of where he's at in the physical space. You understand he's climbing up the back leg. You understand that he's holding on to the nest as it comes down, over the other side. Like there's the shot blocking on that scene is lost on so many other action movies.
Did you mean to stop that share, by the way?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
'Cause-
let's go back to speaker view, and then can you share?
I can share. Yes. Hold on. I gotta get back to it.
All right, let's do.
Should be back. I
Yes, very good. All right, laughter division. Our next matchup in the laughter division.
hope. Oh no, it's gonna restart that slide because you knocked
That's
it out.
alright.
That's all right. That's all right. We're good there. We'll get by it. All right, here we go. Guess what we have next?
Back in the stream.
Mary and Pippin versus Pippin.
Also a hard one, but not nearly as much of a contest for me because the "Where Are We Going?" is like one of my all-time favorite moments. That whole like, you need people of intelligence on this sort of mission quest thing.
Yep.
Yep. So here we are. Clear winner right now is the "Where Are We Going?" moment from the Council of Elrond. But you never know. Could change. Moving on to the scenic division.
Vicky says she loves my shirt. Thanks, Vicky.
We have in the scenic division nothing loading up.
I see gifts. Oh, the scene of all scenes.
Yep.
Oh my God, light the beacons all the way.
Hey, wait.
I predict,
Technical difficulties.
I predict that the final battle at the end of this is going to be between Second Breakfast and Light the Beacons. That is
So speaking of, as you can see on my screen, Light the Beacons has a monster lead. I know I had to go out of presenter mode, but 88% voting for Light Your Beacons. Lighting of the Beacons. Let's see if I can get out and get this presented again. Oh, what are you doing, Justin? Are you playing around? Is that why this is messing up?
Well, my video is locked. It's not
Yeah.
switching between who's talking.
No, it's
So
just Justin the entire time on camera.
I'm
Oh,
trying-
why you turn off Spotlight Video? That's what you have. You have
Yeah.
the video spotlight.
Speaker view.
How's it going now? Still looks like it's
Manage participants.
All right, I
There
took
you go.
over.
Cancel the spotlight video.
Oh,
There you go. There you go.
The magic button.
All right, so moving on then to our next matchup. Hold on, let's see if this works this time. There we go. This will jump after this. Okay. Next one we have Saruman looks over his army and the Fellowship seeing Rivendell. This is
Rivendell
interesting.
is so gorgeous. Like, how do you top that?
Yes, the only problem is we discovered in the show yesterday there really is no sequence in which the whole Fellowship sees Rivendell for the first
Very
time,
true. But
considering
it's
they
more-
all meet there.
what I take from that little like phrase is not that the Fellowship sees Rivendell, but we do, the viewers, and we are the Fellowship in that moment.
Oh, okay, there you go. I'll totally go on board with that's exactly what was intended with the question.
Absolutely.
100%.
I'd love to see you guys in the chat. Kevington in the chat says, wait, where do I vote? I've been busy with work. You go to theonering.net. The first post on the main page has a link to vote for round two of Middle Earth March Madness. Round 2 is going until Sunday night. And then on Sunday night, we'll do a results show, and then we'll go on to round 3. So you can vote at theonering.net. Takes you to our polling partner where you can vote on all these matchups.
Yep.
So I
And
think
just as a reminder for everybody, the results you're seeing right now, these are just current statistics as the amount of people that have currently voted. So these will change as people continue voting. We're just giving you guys an update of what made it through to the new round and reminding you you've got 2 days to vote.
so. I gotta apologize. My computer obviously cannot handle doing this. So what we're gonna do It's go this way without any transitions from now on. But
All right.
I'm totally okay with that. I don't think we need to get all fancy. It's fine.
all right, so we're in the scenic division. We have the Fellowship going over the mountain pass, and the Fellowship saying past the Argonath. And the Argonath is clearly crushing the mountain pass.
The Argonath was such a moment for me. Again, having not read the books, I saw that scene and it was something I had never seen on film before. It just felt real. It looked real. As great as that trailer moment is with the Fellowship going over the mountain, the Argonath took my breath away. I just remember in the theater holding my breath because I was seeing something I'd never seen before.
All right, moving on. We got a close matchup here with Éowyn standing in front of Menocel, and then Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli running through Rohan.
Just for the meme factor, they're taking the hobbits to Isengard has my vote.
That's true. That's true. And currently the audience concurs with you at 53%.
I have a feeling I might lose this one. I mean, based on the disrespect to the Hobbit that we saw last.
I put in for the same thing, Justin. So I don't know.
Well, we got 2 days to find out, but it's a close matchup. So moving on to the drama and action division, which is our last division of the evening. Gollum falling into the cracks of doom versus Éowyn versus the Witch King.
No man.
And that's clearly, I'm actually surprised that it's not bigger here.
Yeah. There's no contest here.
I think if you actually had it listed in the survey, quoted with the "I am no man," that it probably would be higher because maybe people just aren't connecting the dot.
Maybe. Very well could be. So we have that, and then moving on to the next matchup. Boromir saving Merry and Pippin from the orcs, and then Gandalf versus the Balrog. Currently, Gandalf versus the Balrog is beating Boromir saving the day.
He has to. The Balrog, again, something I've never seen on screen before.
Yeah, no one
That was
had.
the most dramatic scene in all of the three movies for me, second only to the moment before the dead army appears on the Pelennor fields.
Oh, yes. Yeah. In preparing just this brief presentation of where we're at, I've realized I need to go back and watch a couple scenes again. Like it's just nonstop. Like I haven't watched enough of this recently that I need to go back and watch again. All right, next one. Faramir's charge versus Gandalf and Aramir's dawn charge into Helm's Deep. This one, Faramir looks like he's going out. He was my favorite in this scene, but looks like he's getting crushed.
Again, when we announced the winners yesterday, I made a compelling argument that the Two Towers still the best, and that everything from the Two Towers is just perfect.
Need to remember that Pippin's song, that his Edge of Night moment is Faramir's charge, because if my Pippin army rallies behind me, we take this.
And then we've got the Ents going to war and the charge of the Rohirrim.
This hurts. Ents.
I'm sorry to Cliff right now.
I feel bad for Cliff, but ultimately, I was never. I didn't like the Ents that much.
I like the Ents just fine, but I don't think it tops the charge of the Rohirrim at all.
Yeah, and the audience agrees with you. 72% crushing the Ents right now.
The Ents were so good. I mean, just like,
Yeah, but were they better than the charge of the Rohirrim?
Yes.
What? You're crazy.
Oh, man.
You shall not pass. So that's where we're at, folks.
Pippin singing, though, breaks my heart every time. Exactly. That's why Faramir's charge is in this drama action category. And, why more people should be voting for Faramir's charge, because that is a heartbreaking, moment.
Yep.
Sure, it's not the drama action. Maybe I still think that there should have just been a separate little moment for an Edge of Night being in the tearjerker section, but yeah.
Matthew in the chat room says the Ents were biblical, and I agree. I mean, it's just the Ents was something you'd never seen on film before. Having not read the book, I was completely blown away by the anger you felt out of this tree, where he just like walks out into this, field of death, and he's like, someone, these were my friends. And I was just like, oh no, oh man.
I don't know, Chelsea. What do you think? They were a lot more aggressive in the books. I thought they were a lot better represented in the
I
books.
definitely feel like they were a force to be reckoned with, and mystical almost. I was like,
Yes.
there was some sort of majestic feel to them that I didn't quite get. In the movie, I just kind of went, they're old trees.
Yes,
Okay.
but in the books, they're very much different. You should.
Not to mention in the books, like, you actually had a language for Intish that you
Yes.
don't hear a lot of in the movies at all. And as somebody that took linguistics of Middle Earth in college, I studied Intish.
Can you say anything in Intish for us?
My Elvish holds up a lot better than any of the other languages.
All right. Well,
Probably
Iceland.
prepare something for Sunday.
Nice.
I mean, just the water purifying Isengard, it's incredible. You're right, Matthew. Like that, and then
But it's not more incredible than Charge of the Rohirrim into the mass army. I mean, come on now. Yes, it is incredible, but it's not more incredible than Charge of the Rohirrim.
Yeah, but the Ents were there at the beginning of time. I mean, this is an
That has nothing
ancient.
to do with this.
We're not comparing time right now. The question isn't who's the oldest.
So people in the chat room are saying, the lead up to the Rohirrim charge was pure energy with the music, but the tomato chewing just ruins that scene, and I agree. It just.
You mean Faramir?
Faramir's charge,
but that's literally representative of his son about to bleed out, the blood dripping down his face. Like, how do you not pick up on that?
I'm a simple man.
You if you took it as just a tomato being eaten, that is a problem. We need to talk. That I would expect everybody to get that was a
subtlety is lost on some of us. We're just there to
it was clearly Pippin singing that song, and then that's such an amazing sequence.
Yeah, and it's heartbreaking and just so powerful. Like, I could just hear instrumental notes of that song, like 3 notes, and I will start to tear up. That's how much it stays with me too.
It is unforgettable.
What I would like to know, so I told everybody that the hardest category for me was voting between Merry and Pippin's Welcome to Isengard and the second breakfast speech. What is the bracket right now that is the hardest for the two of you?
That's a good question. Let's pull up the bracket. Let me just pull up the bracket and share just that.
Yeah.
Make life a little easier.
Sandrine in the chat room again. Chewing tomato ruins everything.
What?
Of course it does.
What? Oh my gosh! I'm so offended right now.
Yeah, I completely don't understand that one. I thought it added to the fact of how much the Denethor just doesn't
Yes.
give shit.
Yes.
Like,
He's just. It's a beautifully designed sequence. It's one of the best on film ever.
But Sam agrees with you. He says, no way you need the juxtaposition of Denethor and Faramir.
Yeah, you do. So here's the bracket.
all right, Justin and Chris, what is your toughest competition in this round 2 that you're currently in?
Man, I did have a really tough time. I'm going to say, I think I had the biggest challenge with the drama and action. I mean, humor, it's just emotionally, like, I think tearjerkers and drama and action were the hardest for me to vote, just because of the emotion.
One specific battle within those that was like...
Well, Faramir's Charge, like, again, I'm so biased towards Faramir's Charge, just because of the filmmaking of it. But, I mean, you also look at just, well, anytime you remind me of Boromir's death, that's pretty significant. I'm trying to think. In Gandalf's Fall, yeah, the whole sequence of the close up on the characters as they're crying and holding each other and stumbling out, like it's just
But
that
right
whole
now,
sequence.
none of those scenes are competing against each other. So, like, against Boromir's death is Bilbo's farewell to dwarves. Like, what's the bracket that has two battles that you're just like, how do you pick?
Mm. I don't know if I had any that were so horrific for me at this point.
Okay.
I mean,
fair.
next round, you're gonna have Gandalf's Fall versus Boromir's death.
What about you, Justin? Was there anything that was really like, oh, that's just hard?
Oh, what are we watching now here?
The toughest one for me is right now is the Argonath versus the hero shot of the Fellowship coming up the mountain pass. I mean, they're both just so iconic. But again, before we started the show, I was asking, like, this was not Eomer finding Eowyn on the battlefield was not in the theatrical version.
Correct.
And as you can see on YouTube here, it's titled Deleted Scene number 19. And it's not a deleted scene. It's in the extended edition. And
yeah, but it's deleted from the original.
So I forgot this scene. I don't remember any of this. I don't.
And what's funny is because they did such a good job adapting the books, you can't forget this scene if you've read the book, because this was such a significant sequence in the books as well, with the healing of Eowyn. And so it's sort of like, it's once you've established your visual acceptance of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, everything in the books, in my mind, like I sort of see all of this materialize. So while that sequence might not be in a theatrical release, it's not forgettable for me, at least.
But also, this scene is about the aftermath from the war, though. Isn't the one in the bracket actually about being on the fields?
Yep, which it started early on.
Yeah.
Oh, here was another competitor, Pippin looking for Merry.
Yeah.
Which one was that? I forget which. That was.
I think it got voted. This one got voted out in the first round. Pippin finding Merry on the battlefield, and I understand why both of these scenes were not included in the theatrical. Like, we had a couple love stories going on, and we had that. We had the love triangle basically because the movies had spent so much time with Eowyn kind of chasing Aragorn. It was kind of weird. It would have been weird to see this in the theatrical. This was
against Theoden's death in the previous bracket. It was,
yes, it was. Also, that question also goes for everybody in the chat room too. If anybody felt like, wow, this is really a tough battle right now, I'd love to hear what everybody's thinking about the brackets.
What about you? What about you?
I told you mine when we went through it. The second breakfast versus Welcome to Isengard with Merry.
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha.
That was really hard for me. And I know as we get into each round, this is going to get harder and harder. Do you guys have predictions as to what you think will make it to the final rounds? Not even rounds, the final round, like the final two.
The final four or the final two?
Final two. That last death rattle.
I really want this to be in the final four.
It's not happening, dude.
Oh, come on, look at this.
It is scenic. It is scenic, but it's never going to get out of the entire, first of all, Gandalf's Fall is coming out of the tearjerker bracket.
I have goosebumps right now as we sit here. I mean, don't you?
Prove it. Show us in the camera. Show us the goosebumps.
And then coming out of the scenic, my prediction for your final four, you have Gandalf's Fall, and coming up against that out of the scenic bracket
will be,
which would be what? Yeah, like the Beacons. Yep, 100%. And then coming out of the laughter bracket,
second breakfast.
I think where you're going, where are we going, is going to be coming out of that. Those second breakfasts.
Really? You think where we're going is going to beat second breakfast, you think? I'd be okay with that.
Yep. And then coming out of the drama and action sequence, I would have said Faramir's Charge because I'm so biased, but I think we're going to see Gandalf versus the Balrog come out of
I
there.
mean, you said like 2,000 people have voted out of the 5,000 that were in the first round. There's a chance 3,000 people could still vote for Faramir Charge.
That's true. There is a chance, but statistically, a very small chance.
Listen, everybody in the chat room right now, go get your friends, your relatives, everyone you're quarantined with, have them vote and tell them Faramir's Charge.
I know. Can you put on Faramir's Charge, please, with the sequence? But the reality is, those are your final four, and I think Gandalf's Fall is probably gonna win out in the end.
Which one did you pick for drama action?
Drama action was going to coming out was Gandalf versus Balrog, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I can see that.
And so you'll have the final being Gandalf versus Balrog versus Gandalf's Fall.
Matthew,
I don't know if we'll get there. I think people want to see multiple characters in the final four. I think that will come into play in the voting. Hey, Matthew in the chat room has a great question.
Yeah, he said, what does the next round do? That's what I was just trying to say. I was like, you have 2 more days currently to vote for round 2. It will end at, what do we say, 10 p.m. on Sunday?
Yep, 10 p.m. Eastern.
10 p.m. Eastern, so that is 7 p.m. Pacific time. If you were in the UK, that means you're ending at 6 a.m. on Monday. I was like, so that is when voting will end. And then the following day, so on what day of the week is that? Is that the 6th, April 6th?
Yep.
April 6th, round 3 will start, and you can vote again for round 3, guys.
Chris, I can't vote for this because I remember seeing this and not having read the books, I thought, wait, this is the final battle? And so I'm like, am I watching the final battle? Like, there's heroic music, there's a sad song being sung, there's slow motion going on. I'm like,
didn't you see
this?
Yeah, but didn't you see?
There's this war going on, and he's just eating a freaking banquet. Look at the look that Pippin gets in his eye of just the disgust that comes out. The acting in this.
Look, the blood coming out of his mouth.
Oh.
He's literally at fault for sending his son to his death right now. And he's
and all of Pippin's friends are possibly about to die, and just sure, I'll sing for you. Here you go.
This sequence, one of the best in cinematic history.
Mm-hmm.
Really? That's too heavy of a compliment.
No, the only thing that makes this whole sequence not the best ever in cinematic history to me is that what's the guy's name? The really crazy orc they made up for the movie.
Gothmog?
Gothmog, thank you.
Yeah.
If his design was just a little more dialed in.
It felt like the Elephant Man, right?
Yeah. It was a little too over the edge.
I tell you what, all of these orcs, look at the lip snarls on these orcs in this scene. We don't get anything close to that in The Hobbit.
No, we don't get any. No, we don't practical effects, man.
Like, you can see the beads of sweat.
Oh, look, the blood coming out of his. I mean, come on. What do you think you're there? Oh, let's just film him.
You know what's going on through my mind when I saw this? Why is he eating cherries?
Oh my gosh.
I will admit that my first several watches of this, I didn't pick up on the tomato bean blood out of his mouth because I was so fixated on how powerful Pippin's song was and the look and everything that Billy gives us in that moment. I was like, and it took somebody being like, yeah, but Denethor, for me to be like, oh my God. Like,
it's so dimensional.
So that scene we just watched versus this one, come on, it's no competition. Right out with me. I mean,
no, that's not what it is right now. No, that's not what it is right now. You're the Justin. This one lost in the previous round. Okay, this one was the or wait, is this?
This is it.
Oh, okay.
They ride out, and
yes.
Look at that. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps. Can you see this? Like,
I just want Shadowfax to be a unicorn for that moment, just for 1 second.
He then stands alone and he walks out and says, "Not alone." Oh my God! I was was not expecting that at all.
Yes, because you didn't read the books.
This is so amazing. I'm like tearing up right now. It's so amazing.
I'm very jealous of the
There's
fact.
plenty of people that did not read the books that feel the way that Justin did.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. I guess you're right.
Come on, the slow motion, the downhill battle,
I guess you're right.
and
then
then
the light hitting at the exact moment.
and
Yeah,
you and immediately you understand why Gandalf said, "Look to us at the first light." Like, why
Yep.
did he use that
Here
phrase?
comes the light right here. Yep. Right when the sun peeks over. Yep. Okay. All right. I revise my vote. Now watching it. See, we got to figure out a way to watch them all to do these votes.
If you did the survey in Google, because you can create surveys with that, you can actually add images and video. I don't know about what you're using.
Yeah.
Like, so those two scenes back to back. I mean, Chris, you gotta admit that was pretty intense.
And these rounds are just going to get more and more intense as we go too. Like, I'm so excited to see where this continues to go over the next like week and a half of we've got what 4 or 5 more rounds to go. Woo!
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And it's going to come down to, we're going to have to get a big panel on here. We're going to get a bunch of people arguing when you get close to the final rounds here, because we're only going to be coming down to, I think, the final 4. We should arrange to have like 10 people arguing for either side. The requirements are you have to be on opposite sides.
Okay, so and that might be a little bit hard to do opposite sides for each category of the 4, but like
we'll try our best.
I can play devil's advocate for whatever side. It's fine. Like,
man, what are we going to see when you look at some of these matchups coming up? Lighting of the Beacons is going to be against the Fellowship Seeing Rivendell, so that'll come out for sure. And you look at Sailing Past the Argonath, it's going to come out against.
what I'm trying to imagine is if Where Are We Going or Second Breakfast enters the final round against, let's say, Lighting the Beacons, where does that go? Like, I can't even. I don't know.
Well, no, it won't. Now, Second Breakfast will never come up against Lighting the Beacons unless they meet in the final.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying in the final round, like that final 2, if it came down to like Second Breakfast or Where Are We Going, either of those could come out of that.
Yep.
Versus Lighting the Beacon, I personally have no idea what I would vote for. Like, just like that's the hardest decision ever.
See, I think
Lighting the Beacons versus this scene.
Which one is this?
Welcome to Rivendell.
Right now,
Welcome to Rivendell
is probably what it'll be.
Begins.
Yes, scenic wise, yeah. That's probably it.
Show Lighting the Beacons. Just please show it. I need to see it.
Yep.
I mean,
Here's what's going to happen.
This is it, right? Like,
second, yeah, that's it. You're right. Second Breakfast and Where Are We Going? They're gonna knock. One of them is gonna knock each other off.
Yeah.
And they're gonna face. Oh, Eowyn's coming out of drama action. What am I talking about? Yeah, I don't know. Eowyn, Gandalf. The next round has Eowyn and versus the Witch King versus Gandalf versus the Balrog.
this was amazing to me. Like seeing Bilbo. Like, oh, I wasn't expecting to see him. This is so good.
I put on the Lighting the Beacons. Lighting the Beacons. Come on.
Let's see Lighting the Beacons. It's just we need to all have a moment of appreciation for this scene. Here we go. My favorite moment.
So,
hold on a second. We have coming up in the next round, if the numbers stay as they are, we have in the trauma and actions, you have Gandalf Aramir charge at Helm's Deep, and then the charge of the Rohirrim.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to have to choose Helm's Deep in that case. I think that's, wow, these are getting really hard.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting. I'm very pumped up to see where this continues to go. And like, I wish I had merchandise to cheer my teams on. Little flagged away.
Well, the One Ring is an official holder of a t-shirt license, so we could make some t-shirts.
That's right.
If people watching in the chat rooms, would you guys buy some March Madness merchandise if we design some stuff?
We'd have to get rid of the ring we used in my logo because it's too film focused. We have a book license, so we'd have to make a new ring. But besides that, we could make a Middle Earth March Madness shirt.
That's right.
So fun.
So does this scene work without music? Because the Rivendell, Frodo and Rivendell works without music. You see the reactions in people's faces.
Are you kidding me? This part
Right here, right here,
absolutely works without music.
right here. Yes. Yep.
I remember watching this in the theater being like, what am I watching? Oh. And then it gets to another like panic shot. And I'm just like, why are we focused on this mountain with nothing? Oh, there's another beacon. And just being like mesmerized by how incredible this shot was.
You know what? Watching all of this, because I haven't watched the movies probably for a year or two. Watching all this reminds me of just how special these movies were.
Yes.
Really, the execution of them was so well conceived and directed and deserving of all the praise and awards that it got. And then I feel sad and I go, because The Hobbit could have been the same.
And if there's one thing that we want Amazon to take away and learn from
Physical effects,
the past, digital effects are fine. Like, they've come a long way. But look at how much of this, just the scenes that we've watched tonight, the landscape is a character.
yes,
And it's a real landscape. And those are real bushes that are really flowing in the wind.
well, and
That's
we're
real
watching
fire.
we're watching literally Viggo Mortensen run on a set
Mhm.
that's built on a mountaintop, in a true environment.
Yeah.
This is what we've lost in film today. And that story of Ian McKellen crying at a green screen because that's what's wrong with film. And it's so, there's moments in The Hobbit that are great that I really appreciate, but I don't look at them like this.
Hit the YouTube.
This is so well executed, and it's 20 years old.
To address the chat room right now, to answer our merchandise questions, there's several yeses. There's a tempting idea. I would definitely think about it. I think if we found a way to create something that combined what we're experiencing with quarantine and March Madness of some sort of we survived by March Madness or something, like it could go over really well. And then somebody said that they had lunch with Howard Shore several years back and that his music for the Beacons must have taken up 6 minutes of the discussion. So it is
that's
a very
funny.
special moment in that scene with the music.
Here's the Argonath.
The combination of real life with digital, with miniatures and bigatures is the thing. And a lot of times, a lot of movies, and we saw this in The Hobbit, go all digital because they think, hey, we can recreate that and it'll be a little quicker. But there's just something about this scene where, that's real water. That that's all digital, but it's the combination, the intercutting of, a bigature, a digital shot like this, and then the close-up of the bigature right here, that we feel it. We can feel those sculptural cuts in the foam, in the rock right there. And then it's real. It looks real. You can't fully appreciate and you can't fully replicate the real world in digital like
Somebody
this.
said it earlier that the scenic category is hard. They said this in the chat room because all of New Zealand is gorgeous. And it's true. New Zealand was such a perfect background for all of these movies.
So it's there's just man, we are spoiled. We were spoiled, and it did deserve this. This wasn't just like the best fantasy movie to win, you know, to win Oscars. It really was the best movie.
The talent. I mean, everybody clearly was dialed into the family of putting that together, and the creativity. I mean, there's so many moments in those original films, and so yeah, we're seeing. I mean, and honestly, look, we're seeing it play out in the brackets here. I mean, there's no Hobbit stuff that's going to survive to round 3.
Look at these beautiful boys, my boys.
And that's the reality of it, though. I mean, yeah, that was a physical set that you're sitting
We
in.
knew that was going to happen, though.
Right. Right. But you have when you make it real, you literally bring it out of people's brain and put it on into actual scenes like they did with the original films. That's when you get that true connection. So that's what we're going to see here. So Chelsea, what's your final 4?